Okay, so I just recorded a video on how audio feedback, this thing, is similar to COVID in the sense that it's, if you have a system where one infection generates more than one infection, if R is greater than 1, then it's going to explode exponentially. And the same thing happens with audio. If you have an amplifier in here, the amplifier, in this case, the amplifier for COVID is our bodies, unfortunately. But here there's an electronic amplifier that amplifies the signal. If the gain is more than 1, so a little bit of sound pressure comes out of here and comes back and it's greater than 1, then you get the feedback. And if you don't, you don't. So I wanted to add a little bit of something here to make it a little bit more realistic. And actually it also explains, this is also what happens in nuclear reactors. So if one neutron hitting a uranium atom generates more than one neutron hitting other uranium atoms, then it goes critical and it explodes. And if it doesn't, it stays fine. It's very hard to find the middle. So how do they do this in nuclear reactors? Well, they use something called delayed neutrons. So when a neutron hits a uranium atom, it splits, and then it creates a certain number of neutrons, and then some of those decay products, so the two things that come out of it, they're actually, they also are radioactive, so they produce some more neutrons in a little while. And the idea is if you make the system prompt subcritical, meaning that there's not enough neutrons produced in the initial collision to hit more than one atom, then it's called prompt subcritical because the prompt neutrons, the one that come out immediately, are not good enough, or there's not enough of them to hit the other neutrons. But you can make it delayed critical, which means that including those extra neutrons that come later from the decay products, it's above 1. And this allows you to have a reaction which has a slower response rate, and it's fast enough for the moderators, not the moderators, but for the neutron absorbers, the control rods, to move in and out, and so keep the system producing energy, but not so much energy that you get a Chernobyl. The way we're going to simulate this is with this pedal. This is produced by Zoom, and it's a reverb pedal. Well, it does chorus, delay, reverb. We're interested in reverb. I put here a very long reverb, which is called church. And if you hear, if I turn this on, this is my voice, simply. If I turn it on, then it sounds like a church because it has this very long reverberation time. And the reverb, which simulates the echoes coming in and out, it means you don't just get the one impulse, but instead you get an initial impulse, and then you also get a tail, and that's simulating these delayed neutrons. Let's see what happens now. So see, it wants to feedback, but it grows slowly enough. It grows slowly enough. If I take it away, it slowly decays. If I take it closer, so this is called, it's delayed critical. It's producing feedback, but it's producing feedback at a rate which is slow enough that I can control it with my arm. And that's similar to what reactors do with control rods and maybe pumping coolant, whatever it is, depending on the reactor design. Now, if I were to make a mistake and point it too close, see, it just went prompt critical. So that was prompt audio feedback instead of delayed audio feedback. And Chernobyl, for reasons I'm not going to go into, went prompt critical instead of remaining delayed critical. Let's try it again. This is delayed critical, grows slowly. I can control it at a steady level. If it gets too loud, I can slow it down and it comes down. But if I make a mistake and get too close, it just went prompt critical.